Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and I am back to do my 31 Days of Horror in October, Day 4. This is going to be a bonus review. So the other day, I'm looking at my comments, and I believe it was on the Brotherhood of Satan, which I reviewed for Day 2. And a gentleman by the name of Matt Frame asked if I would watch his movie and review it. I said, sure, I have no problem with that. Send me the movie and I'll check it out and review it. As soon as he said what title it was, I knew exactly what film he was speaking of. Oddly enough, my friend Nick, the Last Shoegazer, who I'm also doing Day 4 with as well, had done a review for this film, and I was really eager to see it, so I had already known about the film. The film is called Camp Death 3 in 2D. So as I was speaking to Matt Frame, he sent me a link so that I could watch the film, and I watched it today, and here are my thoughts. Now, Camp Death 3 in 2D clocks in at 82 minutes and is a 2018 film. And it is a comedy horror film, more so in the comedy area. Now, the director, of course, is Matt Frame, who I got the message from. He also wrote the film, and when I was looking him up on IMDb, the only thing I could really find that he had done lately was, and it's not really lately, it was from 2013. It was called GGG One Night Stab. And I read a little bit of the synopsis, and it was about roughly, it's about a stand-up comedian who is a serial killer, which looks right up my alley, so I would definitely love to see that one. But Camp Death 3 in 2D is, like I said, more so a comedy. When I started watching it, in the first minute I was watching it, I was like, here we go. This is probably going to be like Stan Helsing and the Scary Movie films, and Shriek, If You Know What I Did Last, whatever it is. And I'm not a big fan of those movies. I do own a majority of them. I don't really watch them very often, so I don't really know why I own them, but whatever. It is what it is. And about the minute and a half mark, the 2 minute mark, I changed my attitude towards the film immediately. This, rather than being a cash grab like the Scary Movie films, and I'm sure there are a lot of fans of those films out there, to me it was just, the first one was kind of inventive, and then it just got more and more silly as it went along, which I guess maybe was the point, but it just kind of lost me. This is not a cash grab. This is actually a film for horror film fans. It just happens to be a comedy. There are so many Easter eggs in this movie, which is one of the things I really enjoyed. Um, the things that I could pick out, and there are so many more, I actually plan on watching it probably another time, because I think it's good for 7 days or 5 sign-ins for your email. That's your password. The things that I could pick out right away, of course, was Friday the 13th, Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sleepaway Camp, of course. The Burning, which there's a character in there called Crapsy, which was one of my favorite characters, and he just made me laugh. It was funny. And also, oddly enough, which was my favorite part in the entire movie, was a small spoof in the film of Return of the Jedi. And I was dying. I was rolling. It was hysterical. So like I said, there are so many Easter eggs. It basically is a spoof film of Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, more or less. Of course, they changed the name of the characters. You have, let's see if I can remember the guy's name. Johan Van Dam is the guy who is killing the people, or the supposed killer. It's just, it's funny. And it's so off the wall and offbeat. I enjoyed a lot of the humor in it. Like every movie, this is low budget. Some of it fell flat. Some of the gore was CGI that I could tell. And in a comedy, I don't really mind it as much as in a straight out horror movie. So it wasn't as bad, but I'm just not a fan of CGI blood. That's just me, myself, personally. I much prefer practical effects. But you work with what you have, and the guy did a great job on this. I'm actually going to give um, this movie a 7. I am definitely in when and if they find a distributor and they can release it. It is now in the festival circuit, and I'm definitely in when it gets released. I'll definitely purchase this one because it was funny. It may not be something I'll watch all the time, but they did a really good job with it. Really good. One of the things I really liked about it is you had all your typical stereotypes for your counselors. You had the guy in the wheelchair. You had, and I'm sorry, Lisa, if you're watching this, the Irishman who loves potatoes, and it definitely has something to offend everyone. You know, all these different stereotypes for counselors. And it's just fun. It's just fun, as long as you don't take it too seriously. But, like I said, I'm going to give this movie a 7. I wanted to thank Matt Frame for allowing me to watch his film. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, I am all in when you find a distributor and you decide to release the film. I'm definitely in on this one because I did enjoy it. And 7 for a low budget film, I think is pretty good. So, um, again, some of my other YouTubers are doing the 31 days. Um, of course, you have You and Your Horror Movies, Last Venom 76, Jen's Reviews from the Grave, Lisa Loves, Dave Maggot. I have a growing list here. Rusting Willpower, Random Horror, TheHORRORman, Horror Fan 34, Movie Review Time. Andrew's Crypt is doing a 31 days of recommendations, which is really cool. Retro Horror is doing the 100 movie challenge, which is, I loved it. I watched it, every episode last year, and it just blew me away. And there's also a series coming up called Three from the Grave, which comprised of Lisa Loves, Movie Massacre, and Strange Monkey. Um, Matt, if you're listening to this, hit some of these people up. I'm sure they'd be happy to watch it and review it, and I know a lot of them would really like it. So, yeah. Until next time, guys. Peace.